On News 5, a community on edge. San Pedro police bracing for possible retaliation after the brutal triple murder on Mosquito Coast. In Orange Walk, gunfire at dawn. Albertito Pot gunned down. Investigators racing to piece together what happened. A dramatic seizure at sea, a hidden haul of diesel aboard the Humilde Viajera. And tonight, a Venezuelan captain sits behind bars. Plus, hype turns to disappointment. The Hilux raffle stalls, leaving a Lions fundraiser in limbo. And across Belize, a call to protect our children. The Blue Teddy campaign launches, urging the nation to break the silence. All this moments away. News 5 starts now. Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Friday, March 20th. I am Jamie Rock. Police on Ambergers Caye are scrambling tonight, not just to solve a crime, but to stop the island from sliding into a cycle of revenge. San Pedro is on edge after a chilling triple murder that has shaken even long-time residents who've grown used to flare-ups of violence. Karim Espat, Oscar Mas, and Yerlin Alvarez were inside a home in the Mosquito Coast area late last night when gunmen stormed in and opened fire. The attack was swift, targeted, and ruthless. Investigators say this wasn't random. They're looking squarely at the simmering feud between rival drug factions that has been bubbling beneath the surface of Paradise. Now, with 3 men dead, police fear the next move could come from those seeking payback. News 5's Shane Williams was in San Pedro earlier, where armed patrols have multiplied. Officers are combing through leads, and several suspects are already in custody.
San Pedro is tense tonight after one of the island's boldest and deadliest attacks in months. Police have flooded the streets trying to stop any backlash after the murders of 29-year-old fisherman Karim Espat, 35-year-old carpenter Oscar Mas, and 21-year-old Honduran national Yerlin Alvarez. Around 9:30 p.m., 3 hooded men slipped through a nearby landfill, stormed Mas's yard, and unleashed gunfire. Officers arrived to find Espat and Mas dead inside the home. Alvarez had already been rushed to the San Pedro Polyclinic, but she died shortly after midnight despite emergency care.
Information is that all these 3 male persons were in a house at the time when several male persons arrived at the area. One of them entered the house and fired several shots at them, causing their fatal injuries. We have several suspects in custody for this triple murder.
Police believe Espat was the intended target, pointing to an ongoing volatile rivalry between drug factions operating on the island.
That is the information we have. He was the intended target.
What is the motive at this time? What are the motives?
This is ongoing rivalry with the 2 groups in San Pedro over drugs.
That rivalry is not new. The Espat family name has surfaced repeatedly in connection with violent incidents and gang-related investigations in San Pedro over the years. Karim Espat himself had faced multiple charges in the past. His brother Christian Espat is currently behind bars remanded for a triple murder and previously sought in connection with other murders and gang activity. The family has also endured repeated tragedy, losing relatives to violent deaths in a cycle that has long plagued parts of the island. Police say tensions between rival groups have flared up before, often going quiet, only to erupt again in deadly fashion.
We have deployed our major crimes team as well as additional personnel have been sent to San Pedro to prevent any form of retaliation. So the investigation continues today, and we have several suspects in custody for this shooting.
What's the expectation in terms of retaliation? What are you trying to...
Well, there is also a threat of retaliation, so we will deploy personnel to try and prevent any form of retaliation.
When we visited the Mosquito Coast today, residents spoke openly about the fear and uncertainty gripping the area after the shooting. Over at the San Pedro police station, the tension was just as clear. A heavy police presence surrounding the building as top commanders, Deputy Commissioner Alden Dawson, Senior Superintendent Raimundo Reyes, and Assistant Commissioner Gilberto Romero huddled inside, coordinating the investigation and tightening security island-wide. While police have already arrested several people of interest for these murders, they have also deployed additional boots on the ground and are combing known hotspots using the preventative detention strategy to deter retaliation. However, residents on this island remain on edge, feeling that the question of retaliation is not a matter of if, but of when. Reporting from San Pedro for News 5, I am Shane Williams.
Orange Walk woke up to gunfire this morning and one man didn't survive. Police say just after 7, Albertito Pot was inside a yard with another man when someone slipped over the fence and opened fire without warning. Pot never stood a chance. The shots hit him fatally, and investigators are now trying to piece together who launched the early morning attack and why. Details remain thin, but officers say they're following several leads as they move quickly to track down the gunman.
This morning around 7:15 p.m., police responded to a shooting incident in Orange Walk. Upon arrival, they saw the lifeless body of a male person with gunshot injuries. He was identified as Albertito Pot. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Information is that Pot was at the area at the time along with another male person when somebody jumped a fence and fired several shots, causing his fatal injuries. Investigation into this matter continues.
I believe Mr. Pot was known to the police.
Yes, that is correct.
What was he involved in as far as you all know?
Well, we did some investigations where he was brought in for questioning.
In relation to
Shootings, yeah.
recent?
A couple of months back.
A tragic accident in Ladyville has left a family and an entire school community devastated tonight. 16-year-old Alex Griffith, a second-form student at Sadie Vernon High School, lost his life on Thursday afternoon when he fell from his bicycle and was struck by a Tillits bus along the Philip Golson Highway. The crash happened near an active road work zone, and police have launched a full investigation to determine what exactly went wrong. News 5's Paul Lopez has the story.
A tragic accident in Ladyville has claimed the life of a 16-year-old high school student. On Thursday afternoon, Alex Griffith was riding his bicycle along the Philip Golson Highway when he suddenly lost control. At the same time, a Tillits bus was approaching, and the driver was unable to avoid hitting him.
Information is that this person was riding a bicycle. When he lost control, he fell on the street, and he was run over by a Tillits bus being driven by Jonathan Eck. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival.
An eyewitness who spoke with News 5 says he watched the moment Alex Griffith's bicycle gave out. He told us the back wheel suddenly swung onto the highway, right into the path of the oncoming bus. The bus reportedly clipped the wheel first, and in an instant, both Griffith and his bike were pulled underneath. By the time the driver managed to stop, the 16-year-old had suffered fatal injuries.
A thorough investigation will be conducted. The file will be sent to the DPP. Then we will await the directives. Full investigation will be.
Roadwork is underway in the area where the accident happened, and tonight it raises even more concern about safety along that stretch of highway. 16-year-old Alex Griffith was a second-form student at Sadie Vernon High School, though administrators say he hadn't been attending class for the past 3 months. Despite that, his homeroom teacher, Geraldine Jones, remembers him as a young man full of potential, someone she believed could still turn things around.
Well, first off, I would like to say, on behalf of my homeroom class and all of Sadie Vernon's school body, we extend a heartfelt condolence to the family and to his close friends. It is so unfortunate to have lost Alex the way that, he had his final moments. Like I told my class this morning, this is one of the reasons why we always refer to school as a safety net for them. Because given the time of his death, he would have been here at school.
Jones says it is regrettable that Griffith was not attending school because it is likely that he would have still been on the compound at the time the incident occurred.
I could have seen that he was a bright guy and filled of potential. This would have been his second year here with us, so the students from last year to now, of course, they certainly got familiar with him.
Tonight, authorities are conducting a thorough investigation. Their findings will be forwarded to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution for her to determine if anyone will be held responsible for Griffith's death. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
A warning tonight from Belize Gaming and Lotteries. Scammers are getting smarter and they're targeting your wallet. How a rising lottery scam is tricking unsuspecting Belizeans and what you need to know to protect yourself. That story coming up.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath." Charles Daniels was one of the greatest friends I ever had. He owned a construction company in Beaumont, Texas, and helped us build churches in Belize. He told me that when he and his wife Lucille married, that they made a covenant with one another to never go to bed at night until they had settled all of their differences. They honored that commitment until his unexpected death. Of course, I heard of another couple who made this commitment after their marriage, and they did not go to sleep for 3 weeks. But seriously, we should bring all of our sins before Christ at the end of each day, confess them, receive forgiveness, and shut the gate on them. This reminds me of a couple of men walking through a field where cows were grazing one day. They were so absorbed in their conversation that they forgot to close the gate that they had walked through. One of the men turned and went back to close the gate. He then related the story of a doctor who was dying and was asked by a minister whether there was anything he wanted to say before he slipped away. "No," the doctor replied, "except that through life I think I have always closed the gates behind me." The dying man had learned to put his sins, his failures, and all of his disappointments behind him. Maybe we all need to learn this lesson today. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the wins, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares. People who listen. People who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
SMART, bringing people together.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
Every connection we make is more than just a signal. It's a student unlocking a future through digital education. A young mind daring to dream bigger. Our culture shared with the world in real time. And everyday heroes answering the call of civic duty. When we connect with Digi, we empower Belize.
Watch The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings of the First Church of Our Lord Jesus Christ every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. exclusively on Greater Belize Media. The Truth of God with Pastor Gino Jennings every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Greater Belize Media.
A Venezuelan ship is behind bars tonight after Belizean authorities seized a vessel loaded with over 53,000 gallons of diesel that entered national waters without notifying the Belize Port Authority. 55-year-old Carlos Thomas Rivas Rodriguez, captain of the Humilde Viajero, was charged today in the Independence Magistrates Court. He appeared with attorney Leroy Banner while Customs Department's legal counsel Tracy Sosa prosecuted. Rodriguez faces 2 charges. Investigators say that on March 10th, near Harvest Key, Rodriguez failed to declare more than 53,000 gallons of diesel on board the Humilde Viajero, which he commanded. Prosecutors allege Rodriguez submitted documents claiming the vessel was in ballast and carrying no cargo, even though authorities later found the fuel hidden in 9 hatches. The diesel has a market value of over $600,000 and a street value of almost $2 million, which the comptroller now seeks to forfeit along with the vessel itself. Rodriguez pleaded not guilty to both charges. Prosecutor Sosa objected to bail, arguing he is a foreign national and a flight risk. The magistrate agreed and Rodriguez was remanded to the Belize Central Prison until April 20th, 2026. On March 8th, Belize Coast Guard officials alerted Customs to a suspicious vessel anchored off Harvest Key that had entered Belizean waters without mandatory notification. 2 days later, a joint team from Customs, the Ministry of Health, Baja, Immigration, and the Port Authority boarded the ship. Rodriguez met the officers and produced documents including registration papers, crew lists, and a supposed nil cargo declaration. He later admitted there was fuel on board and presented an invoice. Customs examiner Leon Usher then searched the vessel and discovered the 9 concealed hatches containing diesel. The hatches were sealed, and the Port Authority's inspection also found several safety deficiencies, prompting the vessel's detention. Following the investigation, the Comptroller of Customs authorized charges against Rodriguez. What started as a flashy fundraiser complete with big promises and a brand new Toyota Hilux up for grabs was supposed to rally the community behind the charitable work of the Sub-Umbla Florio Lions Club. But months after all the excitement and promotion, that highly anticipated raffle has quietly been cancelled. Now people are asking what went wrong and how much money was collected and what happened to those who already bought their tickets. Tonight, we delve into a project that launched with plenty of optimism, but never made it to the finish line. News 5's Paul Lopez takes a closer look.
It was a fundraiser that looked flawless on paper, right down to the brand new vehicle waiting to be raffled off. But despite all the planning and promotion, the big giveaway never happened.
It's a brand new 2026 Toyota Hilux.
Yeah.
So one lucky winner will be driving into 2026 with a 2026 Toyota Hilux.
The Sub-Umbla Florio Lions Club had it all planned months before two young, passionate members appeared on Open Your Eyes in August to promote the initiative. A May 13 proposal sets out the plans. It was pitched as a partnership between the club and Belize Diesel and Equipment, an effort to raise money for the club's work across Belize, with a brand new vehicle as the grand prize. The ticket price, $100, with a total of 1,200 tickets available for sale. The club hoped to bring in a total of $120,000 from the ticket sales.
You could contact any of us, or you can go on the Facebook website and you can just message and you will get a reply and we will go from there.
What began as a straightforward arrangement quickly unraveled behind the scenes. On May 29th, the club's president, Indira Mejia, reached out to Belize Diesel and Equipment to nail down the details they had discussed. Everything from a $20,000 down payment to a tentative drawing date, even plans to keep the vehicle on bond to cut insurance costs. Then on June 19, Belize Diesel issued a pro forma invoice for a 2025 Platinum Pearl White Toyota Hilux valued at $70,000. Well, that's where the paperwork ended. A spokesperson for Belize Diesel told News 5 today that the club never followed through on the purchase, and an email dated March 6, 2026 from the company's own sales manager confirms that the deal simply stalled out. The manager wrote, quote, "No vehicle was purchased from Belize Diesel and Equipment Company Limited under that name."
The raffle will take place at our gala, December 31st at the Grand Resort.
But the raffle did not take place on the night of the gala. Instead, the Lions Club president Indira Mejia requested permission from the Gaming and Lotteries operating officer to extend the drawing date. The committee responded favorably and granted permission for the 2026 Toyota Hilux pickup fundraiser raffle to be held on March 7th, 2026. Well, March 7th passed and the raffle still did not take place. Today, News 5 confirmed with the Gaming and Lotteries Commission that the Lions Club has sought approval to cancel the raffle.
The committee had written her and told her you need to request permission to cancel the raffle, and by you requesting that you need to meet these criteria. You need to tell us how much ticket was printed, how much ticket was sold, the amount of unsold tickets. You need to tell us who are your patrons who purchased tickets from you, the contact numbers for these persons. You need to put out a public notice that this license was, that the request, that the raffle was cancelled. I get a response from her today, right, that she, based on what the committee's position is, she will comply fully. Full refund will be given with 100% within a 30 days cancellation. Time all refunds will be processed and complete within 30 days.
How frequent do you see cancellations?
Very few, very few.
Ticket holders and members of the public wait for clarity, while the Lions Club faces growing pressure to explain what led to the cancellation and how it intends to make things right. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Belize Government Lotteries is sounding the alarm tonight, calling out a fast-growing online scam targeting hopeful lottery players. Across social media, bogus pages and fake profiles are popping up, promising winning numbers for Bolido, the Ordinary, and the Jackpot Lottery. The catch? They want your money first. BGLL says it's all nonsense and flat out illegal. The company stresses that no one, absolutely no one, can predict the winning numbers. Every draw goes through strict safeguards. Balls are weighed before and after each game. Senior public officers run the process. Independent auditors keep watch. And the entire thing is broadcast live for anyone who wants to see it for themselves. So if someone slides into your inbox claiming they can guarantee a win, walk away. Better yet, report them. They're urging the public not to send money, not to share personal information, and to stick to official vendors when buying tickets. And for those behind these scams, the warning is clear. Belizean law has real consequences and prosecution is on the table. Tonight, Belize is taking another step toward expanding its agricultural footprint in the region. Government officials met this week with their counterparts in Guatemala to clear the way for Belizean products to move more easily through the country on their journey to El Salvador. Minister of Agriculture Rodwell Ferguson led the delegation along with senior technical officials from Baja and Orsa. Their discussion centered on one key issue, making sure sealed containers carrying Belizean agricultural goods can travel smoothly through Guatemala as part of a new trade arrangement with El Salvador. It's all tied to a partial scope agreement Belize is preparing to sign with El Salvador, an agreement expected to open new opportunities for local producers. Officials say a formal memorandum of understanding should be finalized by the end of April, outlining exactly which products will move across borders and under what conditions. By all accounts, the talks are cordial and productive, setting the stage for Belizean goods to soon access a major regional market that already imports much of its food from abroad. For Belize, which has been lobbying hard to secure more international buyers, this could mark a significant boost for farmers and exporters looking to grow their reach. After the break, young women across Belize are raising their voices and demanding real change, how a new movement is pushing the country closer to true gender equality. But first, here's today's weather upcast.
The Belize Tax Service has been serving the country well since its inception. But like many tax administration systems worldwide, it faces new challenges that require modern solutions. The Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority, SARA, will be established by legislation that will modernize how Belize administers taxes. Countries across our region, Jamaica, Barbados, and Guyana, have undertaken similar efforts at modernization, and we're using their experiences, successes, and challenges to design a SARA specific to our tax landscape. SARA will operate under the Ministry of Finance with an advisory board comprised of experts in finance, tax, law, and public administration who will provide sound guidance while maintaining the required oversight of public funds. SARA will provide the framework for modernizing tax administration, improving the way we serve taxpayers, and supporting Belize's development. A semi-autonomous revenue authority, SARA, will create opportunities for improving human resource management, accelerating digital transformation that reduces turnaround time and paperwork, and providing more responsive customer service while maintaining strict accountability standards. SARA, a progressive tax administration for a modern Belize.
Easy, accessible, safe, yours. Digi Wallet, easy, accessible, safe, yours.
forward-thinking farmer ready to adopt climate-smart practices? The future of farming is resilient, sustainable, and profitable, and we're here to help you achieve just that. Whether cultivating half an acre or 200 acres, DFC offers affordable financing options and a matching grant up to $12,000 for Window 1 and up to $60,000 for Window 2 to help make your farm climate smart, withstand unpredictable weather patterns, and adapt practices that enhance productivity and efficiency. This program is ideal for farmers and cooperatives. Women farmers are highly encouraged to take advantage. Join us in creating a resilient and sustainable agricultural future for Belize. Apply now and take the next step towards a stronger, greener tomorrow.
Start your week informed and inspired on Open Your Eyes this Monday at 6:30 a.m. We're shining a light on World Tuberculosis Day as experts from PAHO and the Ministry of Health and Wellness join us to discuss awareness, prevention, and the fight against TB. Then, discover how the Belize Tourism Board is reimagining sustainable tourism, shaping a greener future for the industry. Plus, the University of Belize takes innovation to the next level with a new policy tracking platform designed to drive smarter decisions. And we'll sweeten up your morning as Smithers shares their refreshing new treats you won't want to miss. Tune in this Monday at 6:30 a.m. only on Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right.
A new wave of leadership is rising in Belize tonight. Women from across the country are stepping up, speaking out, and preparing to lead. They've gathered for a two-day Caribbean Women in Leadership workshop, an initiative designed to give young women the tools, confidence, and support they need to enter decision-making spaces, especially in politics, where their voices are still far too few. News 5's Shane Williams has the story.
They are the future voices of Belize, young women being groomed to lead, influence, and transform. The Caribbean Women in Leadership workshop brings together aspiring leaders for 2 days of intensive training, mentorship, and dialogue. The program is part of a wider regional push to strengthen women's participation in leadership and governance.
CWIL is a regional organization, Caribbean Women in Leadership. We do have our chapter here in Belize. We have chapters all over the Caribbean, and so the main goal of CWIL is to help with develop transformational leadership in young ladies, in women, focusing on helping those women who are interested in the political life. We do know that we are underrepresented in the political aspect in many of our countries, although we know we also have political leaders like Honorable Mia Motley. In Belize, we also have like Honorable Tracy Panton, Honorable Valerie Woods, Honorable Thea Garcia, but we still need to fill in those other positions.
While women across the Caribbean have made strides in leadership, the numbers still tell a story of underrepresentation, particularly in politics. Organizers say that's exactly what this initiative is designed to change.
This is actually an event which started early part of February, and what we've been doing is working with the young women to prepare them for leadership roles. This cohort is the first in Belize. However, since 2018 we've been doing this across the Caribbean region, and this is our 7th YWIL. So they would have been engaged in programs and trainings on transformational leadership, gender equality, advocacy, feminist theory, and basically just to amplify and advocate their leadership skills. We're having a workshop today with different panelists and different speakers, women leaders, the challenges they face and how they've been able to navigate it and really emulate transformational leadership.
The workshop builds on months of preparation, exposing participants to topics like gender equality, advocacy, and transformational leadership. But beyond theory, the program is also about real-world application. Today, the young leaders held a mock debate in the National Assembly.
They are going to be in Parliament. They're going to be tabling the motion of gender equality in Parliament, and so it is our hope that this comes to fruition. That is what we're preparing for. This is a mock Parliament, but with the hopes that it is tabled at the House at some point, and to ensure that this bill actually goes through. That is our long-term goal, and ensuring that we prepare these young ladies and any other young lady who wants to join CIWIL to develop the skills that they need to be leaders in Parliament, leaders in education, leaders wherever they are at in our country of Belize.
Organizers hope that what begins as a simulation will one day translate into actual policy in Belize's House of Representatives. Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
This morning in Belize City, the National Commission for Families and Children, together with UNICEF and the Ministry of Human Development, launched what they're calling the Blue Teddy Bear campaign. And yes, the name is intentional, a small blue teddy bear with a band-aid meant to symbolize comfort, healing, and protection. But the campaign's message is anything but soft. It's a national call to break the silence. For years, Belize has battled high rates of child abuse, and while awareness campaigns have come and gone, this one aims to push the country beyond awareness and into action. The goal is to help families, communities, teachers, and even private sector partners understand what abuse looks like, how to spot it early, and most importantly, how to report it.
NCFC decided to collaborate and partner with UNICEF and the Ministry of Human Development, Family Support and Gender Affairs in launching this Blue Teddy Bear campaign. And so this initiative or this campaign is to advocate, bring awareness and prevention of child abuse, sexual violence, physical violence in general regarding our Belizean children. So many times we have noticed on the news that there are reports that children have been abused. And so we want the general public to understand that it's not only NCFC, the government, UNICEF. We want them to understand that we need the support of the community itself. We need the support of our stakeholders, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, the police department, the community-based organizations, private sectors, public sectors. We need the support of the community, neighborhood, families, schools, parents, etc. So we want everybody to understand that this campaign revolves around our Belizean children and to safeguard them. It's important for us to know that it's not only with NCFC, but also in the wider aspect as well, because child protection is everybody's concern.
The campaign will roll out first in Southside Belize City, where children are among the most vulnerable. Organizers expect to engage more than 800 people across schools, community groups, companies, and households. They're hoping for real, measurable changes, more reporting of suspected abuse, stronger skills to identify some of violence, better knowledge of where to turn for help, and stronger community advocacy. Ultimately, they want a more responsive national child protection system.
We need partnerships, we need a network, we need commitment of everybody. The child protection is the business for everyone in the community, at home, schools, and in every space that a child resides, or a child engages in whatever type of activity they're in. So we do want the children to be appreciative and aware of all the issues that surrounds them, and when they are safe and when they are not safe, and for them to be able to express themselves, and we want them to know that their voices matter, and if there is anything to do with something that they must report, they must say it.
Organizers say the campaign's success depends on everyone stepping up so children feel safe to speak out and know their voices will be heard. Up next, the Belize Nature Conservation Foundation is putting the spotlight on the groups working tirelessly to protect our country's national treasures, how their efforts are making a real difference.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Darling, double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Cause me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart.
Flying is fun, but it can also be dangerous. Fly kites safely by following these tips. Never use wire, metallic thread, or wire-reinforced strings. You could be electrocuted. Remember, even a safely built kite can cause a power outage if it gets caught in a power line. Always use paper, plastic, or wood to build kites. Never fly kites near power lines, in the path of traffic, aircrafts, or near highways. Always fly kites with a responsible adult, in open areas, in dry weather, and with clear visibility. Never attempt to remove your kite from a power line. Always call BEL at 0800-235-2273 if your kite gets caught in a power line. Belize Electricity Limited. We care about your safety.
Every year, the Belize National Conservation Foundation shines a spotlight on the groups working hard to protect our country's national treasures. And at its annual awards ceremony, BNCF doesn't just hand out recognition. The foundation invests directly in the organizations enforcing the rules and safeguarding Belize's protected areas. It's a yearly reminder that conservation takes teamwork, and BNCF is helping to keep that effort strong.
This indeed is a historic event. It marks the 18th BNCF award ceremony. We've been giving awards since 2007. And so I also want to recognize the Protected Areas Conservation Trust. The board entered into a management agreement with PAC to manage the day-to-day management of the fund while we make the decisions. After, 25 years, we still have money and we're still giving grants because of the way the debt for nature swap was designed. In other countries, Latin America, South America, that money has been finished because it was designed differently. It was designed that they would give out the money every year, and after 10 years, that money is done. We are now 25, 26 years, and we still have money to continue to give because we invested as an endowment fund.
The ceremony in Bermudan Landing, BNCF announced that two groups, the Community Baboon Sanctuary Women's Conservation Group and Friends for Conservation and Development, will each receive $50,000 to step up their work. The Baboon Sanctuary team will use the funds to ramp up environmental education, that is, in the community through hands-on training and outdoor learning. Meanwhile, FCD will channel its grant into tougher patrols and better monitoring in the threatened Chiquibull Cave system, equipping its specialized unit to crack down on illegal activity.
Our goal here today is to enhance environmental literacy across the Community Baboon Sanctuary by building knowledge, capacity, and meaningful engagement. We sought to inspire behavioral change, especially among our youth population, because I think it's been lost, or for some reason the interest might not be there. So without us working along with the younger population, I think that we will lose the whole idea of conservation. And so we start to inspire the behavioral change that we want to see and cultivate a new generation of conservation leaders committed to protecting the natural resources of the Belize River Valley.
This project is primarily, once again, to have a ranger presence on the ground, be able to have the equipment for our staff, and be able to have the necessary training that goes with mapping and inventory of that system. I must thank, of course, our colleagues that have made this proposal possible. And two of them really come, of course, to heart. Enbayo is here, our colleague here from Enbayo. Yeah, good morning. Who gave us a letter of recommendation because it is within a protected area. So surely we need a letter from them. And importantly so is Institute of Archaeology. You will know that all caves fall under Institute of Archaeology. So the Chiquibull Caverns falls under their jurisdiction, We have been managing it for the country and under the endorsement of Institute of Archaeology with that agreement.
Both groups say the funding will help them strengthen on-the-ground conservation efforts and inspire a new generation to protect Belize's natural resources. There's more news after the break, so stay tuned.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
What happens when you step off the edge?
Too late to back out now. He said I'm ready. No, I'm not.
And land somewhere unexpected. Sometimes it breaks you open. Wild at root?
That is very bitter.
But sweet on the tongue. Where history calls out, and you answer with open arms. This isn't just a journey. It's across borders.
That was amazing!
Connection isn't something you switch on. It's something you build together.
Connected through culture.
Culture isn't preserved in silence. It's kept alive through participation.
Connected through education.
Education doesn't always look like a classroom. Sometimes it looks like someone taking the time to teach and someone else choosing to learn.
Connected through sports.
Before the win, before the applause, there's belonging. Here, young people learn more than how to play. They learn how to stand together.
Connected through community.
Community isn't a campaign, it's showing up. Not once, but every time it matters.
Connected through you.
Behind every connection is a person who cares. People who listen. People who stay. We don't just connect services, we connect you to your world.
Connected through every chapter.
SMART, bringing people together.
Get your body sculpted with gym equipment and accessories from Benny's. Quality and savings.
3 years ago, Sabrina Daly met a guest who didn't just tell a story, she sparked one. Remy Chia, a Belizean engineer with a knack for reinvention, shared how a simple bottle of red hair dye helped a little girl find her courage. That moment became the heart of her children's book, Amy's Red Hair Dream. For Women's Month, we're dusting off this gem for the bright side, not because it's nostalgic, but because some stories continue to grow long after the cameras stop rolling. Remy's message about embracing what makes us different still hits home, and honestly, it's too good not to revisit. Here's that story.
Reality was only an act of perseverance away from this young dreamer, Amy, as she set out to realize her dream of one day becoming an engineer. This is not a fairy tale. In fact, it is the real-life story of its author, Remy Chia, written as a children's book.
The message that I want to portray with this book is that you can dream for anything and you just need to find a way to get it. You can't wait for somebody to give it to you. You have to go and get it yourself. But it's possible, because if this little village girl is now the president of the Engineers Association, then I believe we all have the potential to be our greatest self. We just need to find it.
Remy Chia, a trailblazing woman, is the first female president of Belize's Engineering Association. She is a civil engineer with more than a decade of expertise under her hard hat, contributing her skills to pioneering projects, including the construction of roads and landfills across the country.
I've been working on all types of projects here in Belize, from things from the landfill all the way to the coastal road, which just finished. I was working on that. I worked on the Roaring Creek Bridge, on some of the sugar roads. I've worked on several projects, and I love it. I don't regret ever being an engineer. I would say the landfill. It was innovative. It's the first landfill that Belize has with the solid waste management project, and bringing that to life, the first phase of it, I felt proud that Belize was moving forward to something more innovative. We weren't going to just be having open dumps anymore, and I love that for Belize. So I thought that would, for me, I think is the project that I had closest to my heart so far.
Like her personified character, Remy's achievements weren't handed to her on a silver platter.
So the book is about this little village girl that had black hair, that went away to study. I mean, she had a hell of a time to get there. She got a scholarship, went away to study, came back, and then she thought that she was going to rock at this job. Then she realized that it wasn't the way she thought it would have been, because she was a girl, so nobody wanted to listen to her.
According to Chia, it takes more than just knowing your job to survive in this male-dominated field.
Since the construction workers are men, a lot of them don't like being told what to do, period. And when a woman comes to tell them what to do, it's even worse. So that, for me, has been like the biggest challenge, to be heard. I used to just look like this little Spanish girl that just come off the bus and come from the village, and and nobody wants to respect that person. So making my voice heard on a construction site has been the biggest task. Making my presence felt has been even bigger, because it's not only about your voice, but your presence. People need to know that they need to respect you, and as a woman, sometimes finding that respect, it's kind of hard.
To make her presence felt, Amy and Remy did the unexpected.
So she went home, got some red dye, colored her hair red, and then people started to look at her. And when they look, she could speak, and she could then shine as brightly as her hair. The hair is always the thing that gets everyone as I walk into a room, and so I know that purpose was served. The red hair gets the attention, and with the kids, it gets the attention even more. You would have thought that maybe the girls' attention, but no, even the boys too. I've been asked, is that your real hair? Is it a wig? I've been asked weird questions about my hair, and I just tell them that that's my superpower.
Remy skillfully delivers a powerful message to children through her book, Amy's red hair dream, using her own personal story of how she found her voice in a bottle of red hair dye. Although the book is readily available for purchase, we had the privilege of witnessing her share this empowering story in a private reading at the Hub in Belize City. At the core of her message is a profound encouragement, a compelling call to believe in oneself.
This book that I wrote was for that. It was to give somebody the opportunity to believe in themselves, because we can't wait for mommy and daddy to do everything for us. Sometimes we have to take the bull by the horns and do it for ourselves. But if we as adults inspire our kids, tomorrow might be brighter than today.
Looking on the bright side, I'm Sabrina Daly.
And before we leave you, here's tonight's viewer's voice. On our first story, police brace for retaliation after a brutal San Pedro triple murder. Howell Longsworth commented, "One simple question. If they know that the island have gang and drug issues, why not do something before? Just saying, someone not doing their job for allowing it to get this bad." On the topic, Nation unites to stand against child abuse with Blue Teddy, Odisar shared. And there's a lot more cases unreported because the few that report don't get help. There's a lot more to be done, but it just doesn't get done. Thank you for engaging with us online. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Jamie Rock. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, have a happy and safe weekend. Good night.